bouncy ball drum machine, musical comb, piano gloves, a guitar bow, palm synth, augmented reality drum kit. Man, oh man, do I have a lineup of gimmicky musical gadgets here today. Hello everyone, welcome back. After having gone about as far as one can go into the world of unusual guitar gadgets, I've decided to broaden my horizons. So today I'm going to be testing out gimmicky gadgets that fall under the entire musical umbrella. I'm telling you right now, there is some fairly good stuff here. I can safely say that I'm anticipating a fairly good time. But before we get into it, I want to let you know that I'm doing a massive back to school sale over at my course platform, samuraiGuitarTheory.com. There, I have 4 courses that dive deep into the system I use for making music. My courses, The Rudiments and Beyond the Basics, teach music theory for the guitarist from the ground up. Pentatonic Mastery focuses on everyone's favorite 5-note scale. And my most recent course, The Craft of Soloing, looks at how you can take your solos to the next level by thinking about musical storytelling. All these courses are professionally animated to make the tough stuff easier to understand, and they each feature supplementary elements to keep you engaged. For a limited time, everything over there is 50% off with promo code BACKTOSCHOOL21. You can find more at samuraiGuitarTheory.com. I'll also put up links in the description. Anyways, let's get to the gadgets. To kick things off today, we have the Oddball, a ball that makes music. It's a rubber bouncy ball with some sort of funky computer thing inside of it. You pair it with the phone app, you select a sound. I've got a kick and a snare, and then you chuck it around to make music. Depending on how hard you throw it, the sound can change, or you can make it trigger a sequence. It's all quite easy and intuitive. There are tons of tones built into the app. You can even record your own sounds. Let's do an example here. I'm gonna record a sound to use as my sample. From there, let's see what it sounds like if I do some stick handling with this. I think what would be really fun is if you got a few friends together with a bunch of oddballs, tossed them around, and had a good old-fashioned ball jam. Unfortunately, all my friends just have normal balls, but using special effects, here's what that experience might be like. It's pretty cool. It does what it's meant to do. It feels like it's built to last, though I will say that the app is fairly buggy. I don't know that there is a ton of application for serious musicians, as there is a bit of latency with it, and it doesn't really do anything that a normal MIDI controller couldn't do, besides the fact that you can throw it against the wall. But if you're just looking to have some musical fun with balls, this will get you there. Next up, we've got the Mythical musical comb, which is a comb, but also an instrument, and a mythical one at that. This comb is a piece of merch from the YouTube show Good Mythical Morning. I've only seen a handful of episodes here and there, but the 2 hosts, Red and Link, seem like good stuff. They also are very creative with their merch ideas, so props to those 2. First, let's review how this functions as a comb. I haven't combed my hair since picture day in grade 4, so the fact that it got stuck may be more of a user issue than an issue with the comb itself. As far as the musical utility of this thing goes, all you need to do is slide your thumb down the comb and apparently you get a song. You know, I'm actually not familiar with the theme. It may go like this. One of those is the theme, and let me say, Rhett, Link, if this video gets copyright claimed because of that, I am not going to be happy. The way that it works is pretty simple, but really quite clever. Each one of these collections of teeth is a note that is created by vibrating them. If a note is shorter in length, it has less teeth, like these ones, and if it's longer in length, it has more teeth. If it's higher in pitch, then the teeth are higher up than the ones that are lower in pitch. That's how it works. I'm going to put it to use for what could possibly be the first time in history. Here is a musical comb acoustic guitar duet. If you're a big fan of Good Mythical Morning, this is certainly a pretty cool piece of merch. I do have one major gripe with it though. This little piece of plastic came to me shipped in an envelope and the shipping cost $20. A little pricey, right? Well, if you think that's outrageous, there was an option to get it shipped a couple days faster for $114. $114 to ship a comb. Good Mythical morning. I don't know what kind of racket you guys are running with your shipping fees, but I want in. Next up, we have the Pickaso guitar bow made by Pickaso. The brand name and the model name are the same, kind of like when a band self-titles their album. Now, before the angry mob comes at me saying, "Hey, Sammy G, I thought that this was a video about music gadgets, not guitar gadgets." Let me remind you that guitar gadgets are music gadgets, so deal with it. The idea behind the Pickaso bow is that it allows you to play and make your guitar sound like a violin. You rosin it up, and fun fact, rosin doesn't have a smell. I always thought it would, but you then rub it against your strings. There's a pick here if you need it. Here's how it sounds. Absolutely fantastic. This is one of, if not my favorite gimmicky guitar gadget. It's simple, it's built well, it does what it's meant to do, it gets you thinking in new ways, and it's just really fun. Pickaso, you've got a fan in me. And I just realized that the name's a pun. It just keeps on getting better, doesn't it? Next up, we have a pair of electronic piano gloves, which claim to turn any surface into a piano. Surprisingly, they fit perfectly. I wasn't expecting that because I have short, stubby little digits, which makes me wonder if these are actually a child's toy. This white hockey puck shaped thing is a speaker and a controller. With it, you can turn on a demo, drum machine, turn up the volume, change your tone, that sort of thing. And then at the tips of each finger is a sensor corresponding with different notes. The idea is that you press your finger down and it plays a note. Oh, it's going to be one of those reviews, isn't it? Each hand is an octave. The 5 fingers correspond with the first 5 notes. Come on. And then when you press your palm down, you get the rest of the notes. Here is my best effort to make some music with these. Now, I will warn you, I used a lot of studio magic to make that sound the way it sounded. Here's what that same thing would have sounded like without the studio magic. The sensors often don't trigger when you want them to. They can get stuck down, giving you a long, horrible ringing out note. The sounds are terrible, they're cheap, the gloves kind of smell weird, and on top of all that, it uses AAA batteries, which everyone knows are the worst kind of batteries, and they didn't even come included. Do yourself a favor, don't buy this, but if you do, use the affiliate link in the description. Moving on is the Orba by Artiphone, a synth that fits perfectly in the palm of your hand. The functionality is wonderfully straightforward. The touchpads trigger the sounds, and you can switch between lead, bass, chords, and drums. You can manipulate the sounds on the Orba in a number of ways that you couldn't a normal synth. For example, here's a note, and here's what happens if I shake it, or if I bump it, or if I move my finger around. I'm playing it using the built-in speakers, but there's also a line out, there's a recorder and looper built into it, and there's also an app that you can connect to, which opens up a ton of different sounds. It's surprisingly powerful. Here's a song created entirely using sounds from it. I've messed around with a number of synths in my day, and as a simple-minded guitarist, I sometimes find all the slidey-doos and the twister things to be kind of daunting. The Orba, by contrast, is incredibly easy to use, which comes as a nice relief. To some, it might be limiting. To others, it might be pleasantly accessible. Another big thing for me is the touch sensors, which work absolutely perfectly. If I were to go on a long trip, I could bring only this with me and satisfy all my musical needs for a while. And is it just me, or does it bear a striking resemblance to the chairs in Yoda's room in the Clone Wars TV show? And the last gadget that I've got for you guys today is an augmented reality drum kit, the Aerodrums. Have you ever been sitting around the house and a Celine Dion song comes on? Well, if you're like me, you might start air drumming along to those funky beats. As you're doing so, you might think to yourself, man, if I had an actual drum kit here, this would sound amazing. The Aerodrums is the answer. It turns your air drumming into actual drums. You set up the included webcam, which also has a light. The light shines so that the webcam picks up the sensors on the tips of the drumsticks, as well as the ones that you put on your feet. So if I hit my stick here, where the snare would be, it makes a snare sound. Hi-hat, kick drum, cymbal, here's an example. You'll want your computer in front of you so you can watch the software to make sure that you're lined up properly. Here's what the software looked like for my last example. There's a handful of different drum kit options. I've got the rock kit up and I'm going to attempt to play along with the backing track I made. Everything you hear is going to be triggered by the Aerodrums. Keep in mind, I'm very much not a drummer, but here's my best effort. Cue the mood lights, let's do this. I was quite skeptical going into this. I thought it would be buggy. I thought that the triggering wouldn't work properly. But after spending some time with the Aerodrums, I'm really quite impressed. It took maybe 5 minutes to get everything set up. It works exactly as advertised. The software is troubleshot well. I'm by no means a drummer, but I was instantly having so much fun with it. It's not going to replace a real drum kit, but man, I haven't had this much fun with a gadget in a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, testing out Gimmicky musical gadgets. If you want to check out any of this stuff for yourself, I'll put up links in the description. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a comment or hitting that like button. If it's received well, I don't know, I could probably pretty easily be convinced to buy a bunch more stuff and do a sequel. Remember, I've got a big sale going on over at my course platform, samuraiGuitarTheory.com. Everything over there is 50% off with promo code BACKTOSCHOOL21. With these courses, I made the resources that I wish I had when I was learning the guitar. It's an in-depth system that demystifies music so that you can take your playing to the next level. If you want to check it out, I'll put up links in the description. Thank you all for watching. If you want to check out another video like this one, hit that link up there. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for a wide range of musical content. Until next time, look after yourselves, look after each other, look after the planet. I'm Samurai Guitars, and I'll see you again soon.